Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to our affiliate training hangout for May. And I am joined by Kevin Hokoana, who's very kindly said he's obviously today to share some gold nuggets on the affiliate side. And before we sort of crack on with that, just before we went live, he did agree that he would give his take on recent events. And just, you know, there is an official webinar this evening. Later on, it'll be quite early for us. It might be a good point to just, Kevin, if you just sort of introduce yourself and feel free to crack straight on with maybe what you know, your view on what's happened, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's knock that out. How's everybody doing? I hope we're packed out. I hope we got a good group of people on. I'm sure we do. Usually this is kind of a strange situation. Typically when we do webinars, we have can you hear me? Looks like I got a small delay.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Cool. So usually we do webinars with DS, and I always feel bad because I get messages from Rick and all the other leaders in the, that are out there in the UK, and they're always like, look, these times are crazy, but they're always there. They always just kind of barrel through it. They stay up weird hours. So I'm in Japan right now. It's 4:07 a.m. So it's an early morning. So it might take me a little bit to wake up and get into the game. So I'm just throwing that out there as a fair warning. I'm still a little groggy, but yeah. But the events that happened today. Yeah, but today with Roger, I mean, it was a pretty big shock for a lot of people. It was not a shock for some leaders, and it wasn't a shock for obviously Hitesh and Jason and I. And it's something we've been talking about for quite a while. Now, there's no easy way to have Roger kind of step out of DS. A lot of people are going to be upset, unhappy with that, and they're going to be wondering what's going on, what's happening, what's the future of DS domination. And to be quite honest, the future of DS domination is bright, and it's never been brighter. And Roger had a big hand in setting up a few things, but what's about to come with DSD 2.0, and I know we have a webinar later on, we can talk about that as well. But with DSD 2.0, the whole direction of the company is going to shift in a different way. If you look at, Apple, for example, the company with Steve Jobs when he passed away, there was a big changing of the guard, and Tim Cook took over. And it was a lot of uncertainties, and people were afraid and didn't know what was going on. Well, what happened since the last couple of years, what has happened is they've had multiple products roll out that they never had before. Things moved forward, and it moved forward in an amazing fashion, even with the absence of a great man. And in our situation, we have the absence of a great man, Roger. Will he be 100% absent? No. Do I talk to him every day? Of course I do. He's my best friend. So I get the opportunity to talk to Roger all the time, and he gives me advice, and I bounce stuff off of him all the time. And he'll always be a force in my life, and he'll always have some kind of guiding role in the things that I do, because that's what friends do. They help each other out. But long term with DS domination, it's going to be kind of moved over to where there's no one person at the helm. You're not going to look at DS domination in 6 months from now, a year from now, and say, "Wow, that's Kevin's company or Hitesh's company or Rogers or Jason's or whatever." You're not going to see that distinction. You're not going to see one person. What you're going to see is a lot of people who have really come together to help you build a business. Because at the end of the day, and take a sip of water. It's still early, or coffee. At the end of the day, what you have to understand is, Dunkin' Donuts, man, love it. So at the end of the day, what you have is, Roger pioneered this drop shipping thing, right? As far as we know, brought it to the masses into DS domination. It's become wildly successful, but he's had students surpass him. Lots of students surpass him in different areas. Why? Because he's one man. He's one man. As great as he is, he's one guy. So when you look at what other people are doing out there, Kenya Liu, Trent Weidman, Dion Jaffe, Nathan, all these leaders that have come together that work with us on a daily basis. You don't get to see that very often, but they work with us on a daily basis. They've surpassed him in a lot of aspects of the drop shipping, the Amazon, and all that stuff. And to have them come in and fill that role, fill that void, is insane. You typically see some of these folks come out on like a bonus elite webinar or something like that, and a very unstructured, hey, come on and just show us some stuff, and everybody flips out because of the knowledge that all these folks have. And now we're in a situation to where you're going to see in DSD 2.0 a huge presence from a lot of the folks that in a lot of ways have actually surpassed what Roger was doing. And so there we have it. I mean, the training gets to be better. It's not just from one location. There's going to be stuff coming at you from all locations. Very congruent, very much so, filling in some of the gaps that you might have seen in the training or you might have felt were there. Since we've launched, right? There's certain gaps that you go, oh, well, I wish they would have put that in the training. Well, it's there. There's so much more coming at you with DSD 2.0. It's not just a skin on a website or some kind of change to a website. It's a total change in how the company is run and how things are done with DS. And it's all for the better. And you guys are gonna love it. So yeah, with Roger leaving, that's kind of where we're at.
When I heard the news myself, Kevin, I kind of, obviously everybody had their own little theories and sort of loads of people jumping to conclusions and stuff and wanting to know more. And the way I took it is Roger, it's kind of grown beyond him. He started the fire. He lit the fire, and it's grown to a point where it's kind of got almost too big for him. It's gone. He's let it free. He's set it free, and it's now got its own legs, and it's doing different things that he's maybe not able to cope with as one man, or at least one with amazing support from people like yourself and Hitesh. But yeah, it's expanded massively, and this is the sort of new generation of DS.
I like the way you look at. I like the way you rephrase that, because I'm not saying there's anything Raj can't handle, but I mean, he was if you want to put it in these respects, we started DS Domination, and the content, the training was from this man who was he's very charismatic. He's very good at what he does. He's an amazing human being, big heart, but there's only so much that one person can know on the e-commerce side of the house. And so there comes a point where you got to start bringing in all the rest of the knowledge, right? Because it gets overwhelming. But that's really not why. I can't really say why Roger is stepping down, but that it's not that he was that he's, oh, I can't do this anymore, or I don't, you know what I mean? There's specific reasons that I kind of can't go into. But at the end of the day, what matters is where we are and where we're heading, and where we are is we still have the number. Nothing's changed. I'm sorry.
No, sorry, you froze a bit there. I didn't know if it was everybody or whether it was just on my side. But no, absolutely. We respect the fact that Roger is at this moment in time not prepared to be completely open about the reasons, and that's that's his prerogative. Absolutely, he can withhold the reasons for as long as he's because we can see from what Hitesh has released, and hopefully what we'll all find out later this evening, where DS is going after Roger has stepped down. So it's all good. What I would like to do, if you don't mind, is sort of push on with seeing where the potential. I mean, this hangout would have been awesome to have after the release of all the information later on, but at the same time, we'll have to do another one there, definitely. But at the same time, we've got where DS is going. It looks very positive from what Hitesh has shared. We've also got options, and these little UK hangouts that I do for the affiliate side, it's all about helping people get on the affiliate ladder and sort of opening their eyes a bit more to see what's possible. And as options came in, I decided that I wouldn't just keep it to DS. I would combine the two and just make sure that affiliate, in the end, affiliate marketing is affiliate marketing. The fundamentals of the same. And I think now we can bolt on options domination as well. It may be a good point at this stage to, if you could maybe backtrack maybe a couple of years, just getting started. I mean, not you just getting started, I know you're doing, but are you able to share with people watching your experience? Obviously, you had a big hand in the Marketing Extreme product, Extreme product even. So yeah, are you able? Could you just give, for those of you people who don't know so much of your past, could you give us a brief rundown?
Oh, definitely. So cool. I was in the United States Air Force for 18 years, and I had a chance to retire early. Are we good? Can you see me? Looks like there's a little lag.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I had a chance to retire early, and it took me a couple of years to actually take that chance because of things that are happening with the U.S. government. So I got a chance to retire early, but I started out with network marketing several years ago. I was kind of I was having surgery, and I'll tell you this story. I don't talk about it, but I was having surgery. I walked into a hospital with my son. He was having he had a rash, and we couldn't figure out what the rash was, what was going on. So I walk into the hospital with my son, and we go in, and the lady looks at me, and she looks at Kenji, my boy, and she points at me, and she says, "We can fix that." And she's pointing at my face, right? So I'm like, "What do you mean? What are we going to fix? What are you trying to fix here? Is there something wrong with my face?" And she said, your nose is crooked. And I'm like, my nose isn't crooked. And I'm getting to how it all started. But she said, your nose is crooked. I'm like, my nose isn't crooked. She's like, yeah, it is. And we can fix that. And so I'm like, okay. So I look in the mirror. I'm like, wow, it is kind of crooked. You don't really notice these things sometimes about yourself. So, yeah. So I get to the States. This is when I was in Japan. I get to the States. I get to Georgia. And I go to the hospital, and they're like, look, I go to a specialist. And they're like, okay, we're going to fix your nose. We're going to pop it back over. I had a deviated septum. My nose had been broken several times. I didn't realize it. And so the doctor's like, yeah, your nose has been broken several times. We're going to do surgery. We're going to break your nose again. We're going to pop it back over. You're going to be all swelled up and, some time off of work. And I said, well, okay, well, I don't think I'm going to be all too bruised up because, hey, if I broke my nose several times I didn't realize it, then what's one more time, right? What are you going to, it's not really going to do much. So anyway, I went into surgery. They busted my nose open. They set it. And I had 3 weeks off of work. And I got to a point, I was bored. I didn't have much going on. And I wanted to, I knew, at that time I was in a position where I wanted to make more money because the Air Force check that I was getting was very low. And I had a wife and a kid, looking at college and things down the road. I wanted to be able to pay for that. So I spent all night kind of looking at different network marketing companies, opportunities to figure out how people are making money because I had 3 weeks off of work and nothing really going on. My nose was all bandaged up or whatever. So that put me, gave me 3 straight weeks of just researching to see what was happening. And I kind of started with some ClickBank stuff and then actually settled into a network marketing company by the name of Global Domains International. And from there, I learned really quick that if you can do a couple things. I mean, I was doing what you would typically call attraction marketing, but it hadn't been labeled yet. At least I didn't know. I mean, the gurus, Mike Dillards of the world at the time, were doing amazing things, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of going, this feels natural. And what felt natural to me actually ended up working. And what that was I would get results in some fashion and then show those results and then say, look, I can show you how to get these results. So I did results-based marketing. And that really, really worked for me. But the programs I was in were like $5, $10 programs, right? They were very cheap, not a lot of money. I wasn't looking to be a millionaire. I was just enjoying what I was doing and making some money on the side. And then I kind of started branching out into every year or two, I would go into another network marketing company. I would move on. I would, I'd go look at the grass is greener on the other side. And I kind of fell into this cycle where I would see a network marketing company go, wow, that looks great. That looks amazing. I'm selling this $10 thing and it's not making me a lot of money. Let me go try that. And every time I did that, it got easier and easier for me to build. But I was always chasing the dream. I could never get any kind of duplication because, hey, no one could do exactly what I was doing. The closest I came before DS was when I actually went into My Lead System Pro. Got to cut my teeth with Norbert Orlowitz and Jim Chow and Cedric Harris and David Wood and work alongside those guys. And I became the number 5 recruiter in that system. That's where I really got to learn how to market. So I owe a lot of my success and what I can do now from those early days, with My Lead System Pro, because they taught me how to structure funnels, how to structure campaigns, how to generate traffic using Google pay-per-click, Bing pay-per-click, solo ads, all those things. Then I met a brilliant man by the name of Dagan Smith and latched onto his training, and was just blown away by the stuff that he was doing and got to refine what I was doing. And that was it. And it got to the point where when I did go into a network marketing company, such as like Visalis, I was able to, become one of the top people in literally 31 days because I had these massive lists of people who had been following me. But we still had the problem, right? They weren't making money. So you still had that problem. And that problem literally wasn't fixed until DS, until we started teaching the very same thing that Roger was using himself, and that I had a glimpse of, but he was always enamored with the network marketing side of the house. I was helping him do that, and he was doing his eBay on the side. But once we started teaching that in the form of DS Domination, it was over. The average person was able to make money because they didn't need to recruit. We still have never fixed the problem. No one's ever fixed the problem of the average person being able to recruit hundreds of people. It's not going to happen. But what you can do is get money in their pocket and give them the vehicle to be able to recruit. Because I learned that along this whole path that if you have results from the past, you can build like crazy. I can go out there and show snapshots of me building organizations for about 50,000 people in this company, 30,000 here, 20,000 there, walking on stage with these big checks and all this stuff. But the average person coming online can't do that stuff. They haven't had the trials and the failures. So you have to give them some kind of success, because the biggest objection they're going to face when they go out and show this thing is people are going to say, well, have you made money with it yet? And if the answer is no, then it's very difficult. But if the answer is yes, from a product standpoint, then they have something they can now build. It levels that playing field a little bit because they have the result as well. So that's where DS and options domination are two totally separate beasts outside of the rest of the industry, because you're using the product to make money. Now you can say, yes, I am making money with this. I have made money with this. And you can recruit from that basis. So, yeah.
Would that be your first advice to anyone looking at the affiliate side of either options domination or DSD? It would seem that the answer would be yes here, but yeah, use the product, prove it to yourself that you can earn the money, and then go over to the affiliate side. It's unwise to just, if you're new as an affiliate, just to get going from day one.
I would say actually yes and no. It depends on the person, to be honest. Okay. If you came in, the thing is, it's strange. We have a kind of a strange ecosystem going on here, right? Because we have folks that come in that have never done anything, that would not touch a network marketing company. And for those folks, it's all about the product. And then you have the affiliates who go, you know what? I want to promote this. And if they have zero experience, they have zero track record in network marketing, then they have to do that route. They've got to prove to themselves it works. They've got to have that snapshot of, look, this works, on their computer, and can show people, and it's impacting their lives. But then there's folks who have lists and who have built stuff before, the leaders that are out there. And sometimes I see them come in and they move slower than I would like, because if this was any other network marketing company, they would just go nuts. They'd, without testing or doing anything, they'd go nuts based off of the results that other people have. And so I would encourage the leaders that come in here to open your eyes and look around and see that the average person is having success here, and start promoting, start building, get your videos out there, get your stuff out there, and show people what's happening here. Because if you're a leader in network marketing from that standpoint, then you got to know that you're leading everybody down a path in whatever MLM that the average person is not going to make any money with. I did it for years before this. We all did. There was really nothing out there that could do this, and now there is. So, you know, learn from that, learn from the mistakes of your past, and you know, build DS in a way that lets that average guy succeed, and that's where you're at. But first person coming in, definitely prove it to yourself. And the marketing side is very easy, very easy. And I mean, we can get into some marketing right now, but the marketing side is simple because you have so much testimonial out there, right? Of average people making money. You can go to any group in you know, you can go in the UK group and ask who's made money, and a bunch of people will come back and go, I have. You can't do that anywhere else. And what is that? That gives you content for promoting, right? Leverage that stuff. Leverage someone else's videos and successes if you don't have it yet. If you have it, then all you have to do is show, I made $5 today copying and pasting. And it's really that simple, you know? It's really that simple.
Yeah, and that in itself, as you say, that in itself is a strategy. Certainly when I joined, whenever it was, 2012, October, I think 2012, or 13. I forgot it. I feel so at home in DSD, honestly. It sounds a bit cliche, but I've kind of forgotten how long I've been. Yeah. But yeah, when I joined, that was very much a thing that everybody was doing. They were jumping on their Facebook walls and they were saying, hey, who's earning money with DSD? And there would just be a stream. It's like Roger's done it himself, a stream of people saying, you know, me. And that is a strategy in itself that people can use. And I suppose, you know, if there are new affiliates watching, this probably will then prompt tons of people to start doing that. But you're going to get people interested in it straight away. Because if, you know, you build your, as you're just saying, you build your circle of people in DSD and sort of the amount of friends that were all connected. The whole DSD community is connected on Facebook, really, and it's growing all the time. So that's a very good strategy to use. So thank you for highlighting that one again.
No, thank you.
You did say, yeah, we could get into some marketing and stuff. In the past, I've not really gone too technical on these Hangouts, but I think it would be silly while we've got you on here. It'd be silly not to ask for your maybe your best free, say 2 or 3 strategies, and maybe then paid as well, because there are people who are going to be able to do different things. And yeah, maybe you could share something with us that you would recommend for the new affiliate.
Definitely. For the new guy, I mean, the new guy, it's simple. Well, I'll tell you what, video trumps everything right now. In your email follow-ups. I mean, really quick, does everyone know, do you have a chat box where I can ask questions on your end and you can see the answers real quick?
Probably a good moment to remind people, chat section, guys, on the Domination live.co.uk, that page where most of you will probably be viewing this Hangout on. Underneath the video, there are 7 questions. It's pretty quiet in there at the moment. There's a few people who sort of said hi, and you know, when things were getting going, there were little issues with audio and stuff. But obviously, if you have questions, please do post them in there. I don't know. The thing is, you probably won't have access. I can put something in there for you, Kevin, if right now, because I've got the page open.
I just want to ask. I know they can. I'm just curious what level everyone's at. Hold on one second.
To be fair, you could do it yourself. There's no reason for me to. If you go to dsdominationlive.co.uk, then that's the page that this Hangout is being broadcast on for everyone in the UK, and you can just put a comment underneath. Things are going to be a lot quicker your end than now mine.
Yeah, there's a bunch going on. Okay, cool. Okay, so what do you guys know? Funnels. I want to talk about funnels real quick. Okay, I can see the questions in here. This is great. Let's see, or is that from the last chat? I think that's from the last one. Let me go ahead and refresh those.
Yeah, there aren't any. Jason, Mr. Drummond, who I know very well, he's just commented. That's the most recent one, I think. Jason Drummond.
Cool.
I can't believe it's 4 o'clock in the morning for you, bro.
That is right. It happens. Okay, so I have a question about let me bring you guys up to speed on what a funnel is and kind of what happens as far as follow-up is concerned. So you have a capture page, and I hope everyone's familiar with this. And this kind of gets into the market extreme side of the house, but this is exactly how all online businesses need to flow. You have a capture page. Actually, let me you got me? Can still see me?
Yeah, we can see it clearly. Yeah.
So you have a capture page, and when you're looking at network marketing or any kind of results-based marketing, you've got a capture page. This is nothing more than something that says, hey, look, go do X, I'm going to give you X, Y, Z on the next page. And I'll show you guys real quick one that I am using for options domination. Does that sound cool?
Sounds brilliant, yeah. Always good to see a bit of a sneak peek. Is this the stuff that's about to be released, is it?
It's something that you'll have in OD. There's more things that are about to be released. This is something that I'm testing right now, and I've driven well over 2,000 leads through this in the last couple of weeks for about 70, 80 cents a lead.
Can't grumble at that.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts, actually. Through Bing pay-per-click. So I'll show you a capture page. And I'm just going to actually send it to, where do you want me to put this so you can see it? I'm going to get this in your hands so you can kind of pop this up. Or actually, let me show.
Yeah, you should be able to do a share screen, actually, if you want to share something with everyone. And if Kevin does share his screen, guys, it would be just very useful for all of us just to give a quick, yes, or the fact you can see it. I can see something loading now, but I don't want that to be just on my end.
Yeah, let me know if you got this pop up.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm thinking everyone else can. I've actually selected you on the window, so I think that's all everyone can see.
Okay, so here's a capture page that I'm using for options domination, and it's you've probably seen something similar to this, and you guys are going to be blown away when you see the capture pages that we're using inside of DSD 2.0. So this is a capture page. This is where you'd send traffic to. And all you're trying to do is curiosity based, right? New ridiculously simple method to start making crazy profits in as little as an hour. Put your name and email address in the form below, and we will send you the full video series showing you how you can start making cash in as little as an hour. So this is a capture page, right? This is the basic doorway into your business. And this is what you need if you're going to be, marketing online from cold prospects, from cold people that are coming in and looking at what you're doing. Now, from here, you're moving on to a sales page. So I just want to show you that real quick, but let me do this. Okay, screen share should be off now. Can you still hear me?
You can still hear you, and we can sideboard.
Awesome. So you've got this capture page, and you've seen kind of one that I'm using right now. It's working pretty good. I put a couple thousand leads through it. So they put in their name and their email address, and what happens from that point is that name and that email address goes on to your autoresponder. All right, your autoresponder. After they opt in, they go to a sales page. We call it the SP, right? So they're going on your autoresponder, so now you can follow up with them, and you've got the sales page. You get the sales page action. So they're coming to take a look at your business opportunity. Now, what I would highly recommend for this sales page is to get in there and do something. And you're going to see this at the event for those of you who are there. But you want to have something that brands you very much so, because people join people that they know, they like, and they trust. People don't join network marketing companies. They see something and then they go look for the guy they want. So on these initial contact with your subscribers, you want to make sure a couple things happen. One, you're branded so that they look at you as an authority, as an expert, or somebody that they want to listen to. And this is very easy to do, right? It's nothing more than a quick slide or a video of you introducing yourself, saying, "Hey, how you doing? My name's John. I was a bus driver for 14 years, and I got kind of sick of that. So what I did was I went ahead and I tapped into this community of people who are working with eBay and Amazon. They're doing amazing things, and I was able to grow an income with that pretty much overnight. I got to leave that job and do X, Y, Z." So you want to get in front of a camera or make a quick slide and talk about yourself, or show just your Facebook profile on a screen capture software. And that's it. Talk about who you are a little bit so they know who you are, so that they'll open your email address, your emails when you send it to them. If not, then they're just going to go straight to spam, or the person's going to get off your list. They're not going to know who you are because they don't know, like, and or trust you. So you want to take them from a capture page to a sales page or a sandwich page where you let them know who you are. In my case, I make all my sales vids, right? But in your case, you might go, I'm going to send them to a sandwich page and let them go ahead and get more information about me, and then on to the sales page for the opportunity. But even if they never get to this part, as long as they know who you are and they'll open your emails, you've done a pretty darn good job, because most people just send them, they won't open your emails. So this is where you want to be. But now you set up your autoresponder, and you start following up every day with emails. Everyone who does this process has pretty darn good results in the industry. But that's the basics of what you need to kind of market online. From there, it's a matter of getting prospects and traffic into that front end, into that funnel. And to do that, I mean, there's tons of different ways. You've got solo ads, right? You have YouTube pay-per-click. You have Google pay-per-click. You have Bing pay-per-click. You have the free stuff, the blogging. And for those of you who are out there and say, I don't have a budget for traffic, blogging in YouTube is going to definitely be your thing. YouTube is huge, and you got to understand that. I sent that capture page I showed you earlier. I got a couple thousand leads go through it, somewhere around 2,000 leads in the last couple weeks, and only 50% of the people that hit the page opted in. So the folks that did opt in, what's the first thing you think they're going to do? They're going to look at options domination. That's what that was for. And they're going to immediately go out there and they're going to do their own research. Very few people are going to buy right off the bat. They want to do their own research. They want to, go ahead and get more information about it. And that's why the follow-up is important, because you want them to hear from you. But if they go out there and search options domination and run into your YouTube video, then you just picked up a really good lead. You just picked up somebody who looked at Kevin's presentation, saw what Kevin was doing, went out, found you, and joined you, right? And that happens in the industry all the time. So the YouTube videos are huge, 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 huge. And actually, we're going to have some updated YouTube training in the next couple of days with one of our superstars in DS, who he just put out a product with YouTube. His name's Trent Weidman, who was at our last event, and he was the MC, and he's done amazing things with YouTube marketing. So he's going to come out and teach us some really cool YouTube marketing. But that's it. There's your funnel, and that's how businesses are structured as far as what you need: capture page, sales page, follow up. Capture page, sales page, follow up, and make sure that you have it branded to you in some sort of fashion. So
I think that's brilliant that you've shown, especially 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if my brain would work in being able to write on a whiteboard at 4 o'clock in the morning. But no, thank you for sharing that, because that's probably more in depth. I've always spoken about capture pages, and other people have talked about autoresponders, and it's something that many of us, you know, it's not that much more experienced, but the newbie, I guess, who just joins, it is a bit of a, it muddles them, and they're not really sure what sort of capture pages and autoresponders are. But I suppose the easy thing would be to get the Marketing Extreme product, which kind of, certainly what I've seen of it, it's taken all the stuff I've learned over 10 years and put it in one product. And yeah, probably get more experienced people after, you know, the fact they've picked it up from that product than my 10 years experience, which is a bit gutting. But yeah, that I would recommend that. Again, a good argument. With DSD 2.0, I'm assuming there is updated Marketing Extreme. Is there another Marketing Extreme product coming out, or are you sort of building on the old one, or how's it working?
There is, and give me 1 second. I'm just going to hit my Keurig and grab some more coffee.
Cool, do that.
1 second.
Yeah.
I got a Keurig in my office on this thing, so let me hit that button.
So good. Guys,
there we are.
While Kevin's doing that, just make sure you have the just to remind you, Jason did say he has a few questions, and I kind of encouraged him to ask them. And okay, yeah, cool. There's a few questions coming in, which we will venture into in just a second after Kevin's gone into possibly what's coming up.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. Can you hear me still? Okay. Good.
Yes. Yeah. Far away, bro.
So DSD 2.0, as far as the marketing side, we've had, since we launched, we've had dozens of people do, I mean, just amazing things with network marketing, right? With the marketing side of the house, and they've cut their teeth in DS, and they got amazing at it, and they started, some of them started releasing their own products. And what we're seeing now is some of the leaders coming out now, coming in Market Extreme, and they're going to teach those things, teach the things that they're doing. So you're going to get to learn from some of the best folks. I don't know if you guys were on the Craigslist call with Josh Jacobs, where he touched on, he walked in his 6-figure blueprint, but then he touched on Craigslist and how to do that. So that training is back there, but we're going to expand on that. He's coming to the event. He's going to teach that in Market Extreme. What you're going to see in Market Extreme and DSD 2.0 is you're going to have different landing pages that he has used for Craigslist, but they're done for you. You don't have to build it, right? You just go ahead and put the ad on Craigslist, and all of this other stuff happens on the back end. The follow-up, you know, the invitation to webinars, everything's coded to you. It happens on the back end. And the folks that are in DSD 2.0, I mean, well, you all are, but if you got Market Extreme come DSD 2.0, and you actually, even on the affiliate side, you're going to have a lot of this stuff, then that's it. You'll have those funnels. You'll be able to just go, oh, I've got this marketing strategy, and they've done all this. They've done everything for me. They've made the capture page. They've made the sales page. They've made the follow-up sequence, and I can see that, and I can have one or two paths. I can take the path of, I want to recreate this, and here are all the tools, the moving parts for me to take and use, or I just want the link and to promote it. That's it. And so you'll have those two people, and you'll have those two resources available to you. Either take the moving parts and run with them, put them together and assemble them yourself, you know, or just take the link and run with it. So you'll have best of both worlds, because there's folks out there that want to do that want to generate their own leads to their own autoresponders. And then there's folks that say, I'd rather just have you do all that for me, right? I just want to send the people to the list and watch the signups come through. So you'll have you'll have both of those happening in 2.0 with the affiliate side and with the Market Extreme. My coffee's done. I'm going to grab it real quick. I apologize, but it's for you. One second.
You crack on. I think we'll definitely be able to cut you a bit of slack for a need for coffee at that time of the morning. Yeah, there's a few people asking, actually going in line with what you just said. Might be a good point to check this question was just saying, if you are creating your own autoresponder messages, she believes, and I think I agree with it, most people get stuck about list. You want a set a number of automatic autoresponder messages, but obviously you've got your broadcasts that you can send out that are sort of every now and again. But yeah, what's the best way to introduce yourself? Maybe that's the answer right there. Introduce yourself to your list and get the ball rolling with it.
Oh, great question. Great question. So here's what you do. So your first exposure to this, right? They're going to go ahead and they're going to go to your sales page or your bridge page, right? Wherever your sales video lies, whether it be for DSD or OD, your first email should be sending them back to that sales page. So you have the email 1. Let's say you got email 1, email 2, email 3, and so on and so forth. The first one should send them back and say, "Did you watch this?" Right? Hey, subject line. Hey, John, John, you just came. Here's your information, John. You're right. Put their name in there. Here's your information, John. Welcome to XYZ. Right. And then for the body, the body of the email, just put, "Hey, how you doing? You just took a look at options domination or DS domination, and I'm pretty excited, and I feel responsible for you. So I wanted to make sure that you had my contact info. Here's my Facebook. Here's my Twitter. Here's my my Skype. Go ahead and add me. I'm looking forward to seeing you have massive success, because average people are having massive success with this, and I can't wait to help you get into a position where you're able to pay down your bills, pay down your hospital bills, pay down your rent, pay down your mortgage, do all the things that people want to do." And then you send them back to the sales video. Boom, back to the sales video. The second email that you send out, you want to have it more personal, as far as you want to cut a video. And I like to cut a video for every email. I'm kind of, I like to do that. So I like to, today I get up, I go on Facebook and, okay, who made money with DS Domination? And, I go find out where people are having success. And I just turn on the video and I say, "Hey, how you doing? Kevin Hokoana here. Look, if you haven't seen this yet, if you weren't paying attention to the last 15 emails I sent you, you've got to perk up, because these are average people making money with DS Domination. And I'm going to keep hammering you with these. I'm going to keep sending you emails, because I know that this can change your life. If you want to have this conversation, give me a call. But I know you're probably ready to get started. And if you are, then click on the button below to get started with DS Domination, yada, 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 right? So every day, send out another broadcast, another email. And when you send out that broadcast to your AWeber or to your get response, after you send it out, add it to an autoresponder. So send out a broadcast, make it an autoresponder. Send out a broadcast, make it an autoresponder. And if you do that for 30 days, then you'll have 30 days of follow-up, and you never have to worry about it again. And they're hearing from you from every day, right? They're about your broadcast. But to answer the question, which was how many follow-ups should you have? 90. You're not going to get there, but you should have 90. A buddy of mine, Andrew Murray, doubled his business because he increased his follow-up to 90 emails every day for 90 days, which was a big undertaking. Yeah. But he did.
I know Andrew. I was using Andrew's list, actually. I'm possibly shooting myself in the foot here, because I think people are going to ask me how I get hold of them. But I was using a lot of his messages and tweaking them and making them slightly more personalized and sort of tweaking his copy. And they really were decent follow-ups. They to me as a British person, I think that totally we can hold our hands up here and say that the British language, how we like to talk to our list, is probably slightly different to maybe what you guys talk, and it's all going to be different all around the world. But
yeah,
the way I was reading Andrew Murray's emails, it sounded very, very British. Actually, it's kind of and you won't be a fan of hype. That's my main bugbear personally, is the hype thing, and I think generally DS totally the other way. It's not hype based at all. But I think most people are pretty sick of the hype. And Andrew Murray's emails were so non-hypey, they're just really down to earth. They really good follow-up messages.
Yep, pretty awesome. His it's funny, and it might be the Canadian side too. Maybe that's the connection, because he's not a hypey guy. He's pretty awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's could be a Canadian thing. Just looking at the questions we've got here, Kevin. You've a few people are kind of answering other people's questions, which is really good. There's a good bit of
I think I lost you.
A question that a lot of people, there is no stupid questions. I will just say that, guys. People are at different levels in this, so do not be embarrassed about any level of question that you put in here. Tom was saying, how would we, what do we do to get an autoresponder? What would you recommend? And Kevin did just mention, obviously, Aweber and GetResponse. They are the two big ones, but there are quite a few different ones. I mean, what's your take on that, Kevin?
There are, and I've it depends on what level you're at, but Aweber is great and GetResponse is great, and you can't go wrong with either one of them. I mean, really, it's kind of as simple as that. It's just get Aweber or GetResponse.
Yeah, you can overanalyze, paralysis of analysis type of thing. Because when I was, I used to use Aweber myself, and then I crossed over to GetResponse, and I'm very happy with GetResponse personally. But I've got lots of friends who use Aweber, and they're happy with that as well. So yeah, don't get stuck too much about which one should I choose, which one's better, which one's cheaper. It's very little in it, really. Yeah.
And I see there's Susie. She's on there chatting, but she didn't stay on the call. What's going on with that, Susie?
Yeah, she's in there. She's not one for, she gets a bit camera shy. But no, she's
I see Ian on there asking if GetResponse is still good, following MX advice. GetResponse is great. It is really great. So you're, again, either or, if we get bogged down with the little questions, I mean, this is just a marketing thing. A lot of people tend to go, oh my goodness, I can't move forward because I don't know which autoresponder I should get or how to use it. And the answer to that is they all work great. I mean, I've run into some great network marketers. I think Aaron Andrews, when he started DS, I'm not sure if he's still using this, but his autoresponder was like eBizac or something, like some off-the-wall autoresponder that I'd never heard of, but he made it work, because it doesn't matter, It's just a matter of, can the email autoresponder get emails out? And yes, they all pretty much can, so. Updates in Market Extreme DSD 2.0. Yes, everything's getting an update. This isn't, I'll say this, and I'm looking in the chat now. Is that good? So the updates to DSD 2.0 is everything. It's across the board. The whole site, you're not going to recognize it. I'm guaranteeing you're not going to recognize it. And for those of you who are like veterans of the pro training, the elite training, the whatever, you're going to want to go through this stuff again. If you're an affiliate and you're not even using the drop shipping side, for whatever reason, you're still going to want to go through it because you're going to want to know what your affiliates are getting access to. If you're doing this stuff on a day-to-day basis, you're drop shipping, you're going to want to go through it again because it's all changed. It's It's crazy.
Cool. Yeah, if you see questions in there, Kevin, you just crack on and answer them. There's no point sort of playing tennis. I had a list of questions on my pad here that I was going to refer to. I will just chuck something in there right now that we were all kind of wondering. The UK side of things, it's maybe a bit of a difficult question because I know you don't necessarily have the control of, Hitesh's mastermind brain and what he's planning with various things. But the software side of things, there have been a few things that obviously we've come unstuck with being in the UK and doing sort of UK eBay and US eBay. And there's a few UK people who've just gone straight to selling on the US and have had brilliant success with that. But for those people who are happy with the UK side for the time being, the integration software and that kind of stuff, could you give us your take on that and maybe what is possibly coming?
The integration software for it's always been focused on the US because that's the bigger market. And if Roger was sitting right next to me, he would tell you that cut your teeth on the UK side, but get over to the US because it's a bigger market. So even if you're comfortable in the UK side, Get over to the U.S. That's where the money's made. That's what he would tell you. And I think on the last hangout we were on, or Roger was on, he mentioned that. Get over to the U.S. Get over to the U.S. Get over. But as far as the integration with the U.K. side of the house, you know, yes, it's easier to do the integration. I mean, everything's always easier on the U.S. side, and there's bigger markets. So there's, you know, whenever you're looking at doing any kind of software, you need numbers, right? You need to be able to test something and see if it works. And it's hard to test with small sample sizes. That's why it's always launched on the U.S. side of the house. But for the U.K. side, what exactly are the challenges you guys are having with that?
Well,
and I'll tell you what we can do.
That would be a perfect question. I mean, you're opening up a can of worms here. I think Ian will probably be able to be very specific on things like that. Ian, perhaps you could share maybe a couple of issues we've had with the UK side of things. But I mean, I'll
tell you what. How about we do this? Let's get a UK call together, non-Google Hangout. Get on a GoToWebinar, and then you guys, your leaders, people who are on your teams who are using this stuff, who are having any kind of issues, you just grill us in a more private setting, and then we map out the game plan to fix that. And we show you what we have on the table to fix any kind of issues you already have.
That is a blinding offer. We will definitely take that on. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, we'll get together. We'll get feedback from sort of heavy dropshippers, UK-based dropshippers, and yeah, definitely give you some feedback on that and try and set something up. It's a really good offer. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you know, because our idea a lot of times of what an issue is, and your idea of what an issue is, can sometimes be different, right? So,
sure.
You know, because we get hit with, hey, what about UK? Can we do this in the UK? And we're saying, get over to the US market. It's bigger, but I don't want to. So, okay, so if you're not going to, then we need to facilitate you working in that realm, because where it's super beneficial to stay in the UK and do everything in the UK side of the house is the new guy, right? The new guy's not going to invest too much time and effort into to start selling in the US side of the house. So I think that's the disconnect. But let's get on.
I've always been a bit quick to jump back at my team members who've said, "Oh, there's certain things that I can't get working on the UK side," and I've always said, "Well, you know, when I joined, for the sake of 12 quid, I didn't have any of this integration software. It's still way value-wise, you know." And there is that, and they're thinking, "Well, hang on, what am I paying for?" And I'm saying, "Well, you're paying for a lot more stuff now than what I was paying for when I joined." So I do have that mental thing of defending DSD, but at the same time wanting to help my team members. And you know, it's a bit frustrating, I guess, at times.
No, but it's great. I mean, at the end of the day, let's you know, take it whatever time you need to get feedback from the UK group, from everyone in your teams, and we'll get on a call. Ian, Susie, you, Jason, I'm sure he'd want to get on there. Lots of folks would want to just kind of hop on, but any of your leaders, we can just hop on, attach Jason and I, and you guys, and we'll run through it. We've done that on multiple teams, and it's always really good for us to kind of get that and see what kind of issues you have, and then, you know, typically it'll flow like this. Well, what do you guys want to see? Well, we want to see a software that that levitates the computer, spins around 5 times. Well, we can do that, right? So it's not a matter of, there's no limitations here. Since September 2013, you know, when it started out with just the 3 of us, I should say the 4 of us, because Jason was a pivotal role in all this. But we didn't have the coding team that we have now. We have massive coding teams at this point. That it really comes down to, what do you want done? You know, I want this done. Well, guess what? We can do that. Right, so you can dream it. That's
really refreshing to hear. As a person who's been involved in a lot of different companies, that kind of interaction with its founders and the people behind, and you know, people who can actually tweak things for us is incredible. And I just want to say thank you in advance for that, because that's really cool.
Thank you, and I'm going to tell you, there's there's a shift that's happened, right? Everybody has a voice in the world. You can go on Facebook and you can be like, this Dunkin' Donuts coffee is horrible and here's why. And it can affect Dunkin' Donuts, in a negative way or a positive way if you say it's great. So everybody has a voice. So why do we limit that voice to just a social media setting? Why not take that voice, put it together, get together, find out what's really going on? Because if anyone at the end of the day is unhappy with something that we have with DS, well, who's the boss here? You're the boss. If you're a customer here, you're the boss. We work for you, and whatever you need, we need to provide that. So it's really awesome for us to be able to get on and find out what you guys need. Because if you need it, then it's our job to build it. You tell us what you want, we build it. And you'll see some really cool stuff in 2.0, but you'll also see a lot of leaders coming to the forefront and telling us what their team needs, and we just make it happen. And think outside the box, guys. If there's something that you're doing on a day-to-day basis and you're like, oh my Lord, it would be great if I had the software that did this cool thing to make my life easier, then let's build that. Let's have that conversation. Let's get it knocked out. Let's get it built. Let's get it in the back office for you guys to use. So that's kind of what we're about.
Cool.
And we have the resources to do.
Cool. I'm just referring to the questions again. There's a lot of love for you, Kevin. You are awesome, and Jason is definitely loving what you're sharing right now.
Thank you.
What about listing programs? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'll comment on Richard's thing there. He's talking about eLister Pro, that kind of non-official DSD stuff.
Yep. Definitely.
What's
official.
take
Here's
on
a
that?
major. Excuse me. So the eLister Pro, I don't want to comment on that particular software. What I'd like to comment on is different softwares that are offered up into the industry by folks. The problem with those softwares when it comes to DS is it's not tested. We don't know if it's going to work on a massive scale. It hasn't been tested out there. And if your eBay account gets shut down and you end up leaving DS Domination because your eBay or your Amazon account got shut down because of some software that you used, that's a big problem with us. We don't want to see we don't want to see that happen. So I would definitely say kind of stay away from those softwares. If you find a software out there that does a certain function that you want inside of DS, don't go pay for it to do it outside of DS. Let us know and we will build it. And if we can't build it, or if it's not, we don't have time to build it for whatever reason, then we will recommend a third-party software, to use. But we want to test these things first, because when you have tens and tens of thousands of people doing this, every move that we make has this big ripple. And a lot of these softwares that are just kind of satellite softwares floating around out there, if they're not tested and you go use them, your account gets shut down, it hurts the entire company. So I'm gonna ask you not to go do that. But I am gonna say, if you find something that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, if you find something you want, bring it to our attention, and we'll look at it and say, can we do this, or is this software good?
Yeah, no, great advice. I'm just having a look at we're just coming up to just after the hour. I do try and keep these things to about an hour, and we were a little bit late in starting, but I don't want to keep you. And I think the amount of value we've got in just this short time so far has been incredible, Kevin. So thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Just the integration. Yeah, I was going to backtrack slightly and talk about free ads and paid ads, but it's not.
Free, I'll tell you what, there's no such thing as a free ad. There's such a myth out there where people think that it's free. Nothing's free. It's either going to cost you time or money, right? And time is money. So there's no free. And I like to do, for me, I like to do paid advertisements, because if I run $1 worth of traffic here, I'll say this: if I run, $100 in traffic to my capture page, and I end up with 3 signups into DS, and I can say, okay, I made X amount of dollars from that. then that's what the position I want to be in, because I'm putting $1 out there and I'm getting $1.50 back, or $1.01, or $2 back. That's the position you want to be in, because as you scale up your business, you're going to be in that situation anyway. So that's where I'd be. So, I mean, I would definitely get into the paid advertising side of the house. Solo ads, pay-per-click, this stuff is easy.
So get used to roll over a percentage for profits into paid advertising so you can scale it up as your business grows, basically. Yeah,
exactly. You can't scale up a blog post, you know. You can't, and the danger in that kind of stuff is Google changed an algorithm and it's all gone. You know, you can't scale up a lot of things out there, but you can scale up paid advertising very quickly, insanely quickly. So, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Cool. I think I've exhausted my little notepad there. And I'm sure a couple of the things that were mentioned, or at least I'd written down, are probably going to be answered on the call, the official company call later. So I'm just going to quickly have a last look at the questions we've got. You're probably keeping a better eye on that than I am, Kevin, with the chatter that's going on there. What have we got? Yeah, Jason, you got so many questions. That's cool, bro. But Jason lives around the corner from me. He's a really nice guy, and he's very, very enthusiastic, and I love it. I'm thinking about getting Jason onto a call, because he's like Mr. Motivator. He's got so much enthusiasm and energy that I can just sit back and he just pump people up, which is brilliant. So yeah, I'm certain you've got loads of questions, bro. Maybe we can have another chatter.
I would definitely have him on a call, and I'm going to send you a message, and we'll get on a phone call here soon. But I definitely want to get you on with your leaders, with Hitesh, Jason, and I, and go over some of this stuff, just to make sure you guys are good in the UK. And let's, you know, from that standpoint, let's talk about any kind of issues you need fixed, and let's get them fixed, or any kind of software you want, let's get them built. So we'll do that, and we'll definitely get Jason on there. I think we need his presence.
That's brilliant, buddy. Well, I mean, that probably isn't a perfect note to wind things down on. So again, thank you so much for your time. I still cannot believe, and I keep saying this, still can't believe it's really early in the morning for you. You don't actually look as though you've just got up, but
yeah.
But
I'm good. It's 5 a.m. now.
Oh, cool. Okay, so it's time for you to get up anyway, so that's all good.
Yeah.
Awesome, bro. Thank you so much. And yeah, I mean, this is recorded, guys. Remember, so you can watch this back and sort of pick up anything you've missed there. And yeah, maybe just a final word from you, Kevin, if you want to. I mean, I'm assuming if the call later on, it's be changed. It's not a the type of thing it is. It's not a go-to webinar, is it? Is it a hangout?
It is a hangout. Yep, it is a hangout.
Cool. And
so we're doing a hangout later on. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But the thing is, for anyone who's watching this, if you guys, you know, UK team, I don't know what the feasibility is for you to get to this, but get to the event. I'm telling you, everything changes. It's a pivotal moment. Everything changes at that event. Everything changes. The whole game changes. You're going to have folks that are going to go up on stage and teach you. It's going to be, it's content. I think we have one rah-rah moment that lasts 15 minutes, and the rest is just back-to-back trainers that we've got it all squished in there. You know, you're going to learn, you know, YouTube marketing. You're going to learn some more Craigslist marketing. You're going to get tools that people don't have access to. You're going to learn how to navigate through Pro again, through Elite, all the changes that are happening in DSD 2.0. There's going to be different discounts for those of you who are not at certain levels if you want to get there. For the options domination side of the house, you're going to get access to something that I can't even tell you what it is, but you're going to get access to something before anybody else does. They're not even going to know what's going on, but you're going to have access to it. You're going to get pay-per-click training on Amazon for those of you who are doing that. I mean, it's going to be nuts. And I'll get you guys a schedule out of exactly the breakdown and timelines. But if you can make it, make it. If you can't, then you can't. But if you can, get over there and keep your eye out for DSD 2.0. When it changes, it's going to be a flip of a switch, and you're going to log into DS, and it's going to be just totally different. The training is some of the training levels, especially Genesis. I'll say this. Still maintaining those bite-sized pieces, those bite-sized videos, but more of them, okay, in a manner that is going to surpass anything out there in the industry, period, done. And done by a lot of trainers that are running successful 6- and 7-figure businesses right now. So total changing in the guard, right? It's going to be a change in the guard and how we do things. And again, we're turning this company over to the people. It's not about Kevin. It's not about Jason. It's not about Tesh. It's not about Roger. This is about you. And this is about the leaders that we have here. And it's your company. And in the next couple of months and weeks moving forward, when you go, who's DS Domination, you're going to have a lot of people to point at. You're might be pointing at yourself, because that's the direction that we're going. There's no one person. There's a group of people, and you're going to be introduced to them very quickly. That some of them you already know, and some you may not. But you're going to be introduced to them, and you're going to see really fast that when somebody asks you, well, who runs DS Domination? All those people. It's more than one mind. It's dozens of minds coming together to make sure you have the best training on each front. Affiliate, Amazon side, eBay side, just the pay-per-click side alone has somebody that we have training on there. I mean, it's a conglomerate of people that have come together as a community to make sure that you succeed, and that's DSD 2.0. And from that perspective, you get updates. If something changes out there in on eBay's terms and services or an Amazon checkout button changes, within 10 minutes, it's going to be updated in the training. Why? Because we have people that are actively doing this every second, making money with this stuff, and they go, whoa, this change, boom, video's cut, back office, done, right? So that's the speed that we get to move at now because we have so many eyes and ears out there doing things and bringing it back to us. So, yeah, I'm excited. So that's it. I'll stop rambling.
An epic place to end. No, bro, thank you so much. That's an epic place to end. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you for your time. It's really important, I think, for us UK guys to know that, we are a smaller minority than obviously the many thousands over in the US. But it's really nice to know that we've got that connection with you guys and, the sort of other founders and the company itself. So it's nice to be heard, and it's really cool. So, Kevin, thank you so much for your time, bro.
Thank you.
Cool. Right, and on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. And we will end it there. Bye-bye.
Bye.